Hello, gorgeous Geminis. Welcome to your Scorpio season reading from the Oracle of the Feather Crown Tree. Can't wait to get into this reading. Feeling like the energy off these cards is feeling very Gemini. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. First, though, if you want to book a private reading, you're more than welcome to. There's a link below, or you can find the web address below to get to my website to do so. So this reading is built out of the evolution of the daily Chakras Ascension readings I do. This came about in the development of the concept that if all of those chakras came into a central area in our heart space, that they would form more of like a radiant sun within us, that we can then be producing a lot of energy to give to our environment, rather than being so dependent upon our environment. So our central card really represents that concept, and then I overlaid this astrological wheel, the Western one, on top of it so we can break down the rays into different components here and kind of help fragment what we're going to talk about a little bit into smaller pieces. So let's read, just for fun, the message on the back of this card to start with. You are currently too close to see things clearly. Detach a little, and you will start to see things from a higher perspective. By emotionally detaching from this situation, a simple solution also becomes clear. This would have been perfect for Taurus's reading, as they had some of that theme going on. So I'm now going to look intuitively at what you have out on the board here. Yeah, I feel like you're really trying to achieve something here. Like you really want to bring it to a point where it's really manifested, and it seems like it's to kind of show you off more than whatever you're doing. Probably there is a need to have kind of a star quality about your presence, and it's almost like this activity of garnering it through the ability to stir things up to a certain degree, but also to just sort of do a lot at once. It's a very excited energy here. So you may just find yourself with a lot more energy than normal. And this doesn't surprise me, I'm hearing, because your energy doesn't go really deep, and Scorpio season's about going deep, and you're like at a surface level. It's not a judgment by any means, but that's your territory. And so it's like you're just kicking up more dust in that area than you normally would, instead of taking that energy and pushing it deeper into something that's more hidden and mysterious. So let's look here at your house of your personal identity. Oh, you're showing up as yourself here, darlings. So you may really be, feeling your own energy this month. You may be appearing that way, even more so. It may be more obvious because you're not taking that extra stuff and going deep with it. So I'm hearing like you want to start something new, though, like you want to be able to give birth to something new, and you feel like you're a little bit undecided about it, like you're unclear. You don't feel emotionally connected to what it is that you're trying to perhaps birth right now, or thinking about bringing into existence. Yeah, and it's like you haven't made a decision to really go for it yet, like it's undecided. So you may also be appearing this way too, just having some of those qualities, like you haven't quite reached your potential, but maybe you want to be seen as if you have. That there's a sense that something else needs to come through here, that you are just not maybe seeing for what it is or acknowledging. Other people may be able to see this though. Okay, let's move to your second house of value. Looks like communication is a big deal, being able to communicate about things that may be a little taboo. Could be not like that could be happening basically, rather than not. And there could be some other more esoteric things going on too, or kind of a lot of information that you are processing, that you are valuing, that you're finding this, communication in and of itself to be valuable. Quite a bit. Like you're placing, I would say, high value on this. And it may be a pretty big component of what you're doing throughout the month. But not only does it feel like it's busy, it feels, that it does have, like I was saying, that quality that's not quite accepted by everyone. It's outside of the mainstream a little bit more. And you seem to want to be heard, though. This even could be political in nature. Okay, let's look at your third house of communication, community. I'm hearing it's like you want to be seen for who you are. You don't want to hide inside of something else. You want to be able to be more the star quality. You don't want to be misunderstood as something that you're not, even if you have qualities of something else. You're not hiding behind anything. You're not working with illusions right now. You're really coming out and being authentic. It's like you're showing up. In a way, you're kind of learning your strength here too. Like you're learning to build yourself up and become more of a authentic presence rather than using an illusion to work with, especially an illusion that's very palatable, very acceptable. I'm also hearing things with gender. This may not be for everyone, but there may be concerns about gender and where identities really lay with that. That might be why there's been some illusion and hiding. There may be things going on with the presentation of your gender identity. Okay, let me look now at your fourth house, family, your home, your ancestry. Here I'm getting the message like there may be a sister or an aunt that you have felt close with, maybe in the past more so than now, and you may be going back and rethinking some of your interactions with this individual. If not, this could also be a friend that feels like family you may have lost touch with, and you may be reconsidering something that was said amongst yourselves because it may be like making sense now. It's like one of those classic things where like in the moment you couldn't get it, but now that things have shifted, now's the right time for you to hear this. So you may be even reaching out to this person for further clarification or reiteration of something going on there. And in a way that's very gentle. There does seem to be just a hint of suspicion or like tension or conflict. So maybe when this was first given to you, it didn't settle well with you. And this person may even feel like a little bit embarrassed from it. They may have even flushed or something before. They may have had a real intense emotional reaction. So I don't know. I don't know if that's going to ring true for all of you, but there just seems to be wanting to have someone here have a voice again, like to bring something out of the past and show itself again. And of course this could be you as well. Now, your house of putting your authority out in the world and really how that's perceived. I'm getting a complete echo here from this energy. There's a strong desire, and this may have extended beyond the desire. Like you may be really presenting yourself in a way where you have some authority. It's the kind of authority that just has strong presence, though. It's like almost an attention-seeking authority, more so than like actual authority, like where you're not, you don't have like a lot of power to make a lot of decisions, but you can kind of garner a lot of attention by your presence. And again, I'm getting this through a lot of energy, through a lot of communication, through, just having a strong presence, being there, being really involved in something. And your passion for it, I think, is also kind of helping you project this into the world too. Now I don't think I've ever drawn this card. I'm smitten with it. This is your house of daily routine and health. So you may be finding that you're struggling with your health because of things that you have spoken or things that you have not spoken that you wish to speak. You may have a lot of pent-up energy that you would like to express. And it's really about like how the verbal things are connected to like your energy levels. I want to take a moment here. I'm hearing like you feel imprisoned by what you want to say. You feel threatened by it. You feel a little bit defensive. Yet you feel exceptionally strongly. I feel like you've been spending a lot of time thinking about something that you want to present, and you've grown in confidence and like an inner confidence, but you haven't really tested it so much in your outer reality. But you have such a like overconfidence at this point built up that I think that you are getting ready to take action and kind of break yourself out of any self-imposed prison that you've put yourself in, because I do think that this is thoughts that have put you here. This isn't necessarily society actually putting you here. It's your perception of what society is going to think about you, how you're going to be judged, how you're going to be received, that has kept you here. And it coming up in your daily routines, like this is becoming like an urge, like a daily urge. And it's also, in the health. So I do see that it is potentially affecting at least your energy levels at this point. And so you may want to look at how this could potentially harm you physically if you don't work at these energies something maybe you're withholding communication-wise. Now, in your relationship and harmony and beauty sector, again, I'm getting kind of a familial family energy, definitely a feminine energy. And it could be related to this energy. This energy could be somehow in alliance with this energy. And maybe you've had a good relation here, but you haven't, but there was something here that you dismissed. Maybe there was just a misuse of power here, wanting to have power over this other energy when it wasn't necessary. But yet you respect this energy in like an older form. So you may be realizing that you have been doing something that's almost like ageism, you know, like where you only allow people a voice and some sort of authority because they've earned it, they're at a certain age. And again, I'm hearing like this could be tying into your own insecurities with your communication, like maybe you don't feel like you are at a stage where you can speak on something or take ownership of something or be validated because you simply will not be respected for it. And I guess I'm just hearing like you're protected, it's going to be okay, you're loved, and that love will protect you. Like there's no need to worry. There are energies protecting you. It's not about age. Okay. Let's look here. This is really your Scorpio house. So it's the theme energy of this month. So this is where you go deep. You do some investigation, the inner work, reveal the mysteries. Here I feel like this is a space that's difficult for you to do this. And being in the energy that you're in, this just isn't really your territory, you know, going deep, especially with emotions, is not something that you have easy access to. So anything going on in that deeper inner dimension is very elusive and fuzzy and hard for you to articulate and really rationalize or even feel. But it does create a tone, and that may be helpful for you. Like if you can't get into the fine details of it, which is what you're so good at, just look for a tone, like the underlying deepest resonance that you may be feeling, and if you're liking that or not, you know, how is that feeling? Because there's a sense that you're not, that there's something here that feels off. It doesn't feel like you want to really hold this energy. And I'm hearing that somehow like deep sounds may help release this and break it up, like the gong meditations, maybe some deeper drumming meditations, but anything that can hold a very deep tone for a pretty long length of time would be really helpful. I'm thinking also of the Tibetan monks, their meditations and their chanting. I think that one could be probably the most helpful, because basically this energy, you don't even have to conceptualize and work with it in the thought space or the emotional space. You can just deal with it as an energy, and it just needs to be broken up. It feels like it is dealing with maybe some inner childhood wounding, a difficult transition from adolescence to early adulthood, or you know, like teenage years or something. There may have been just something that's not really smooth, like a fragment in identity here. So I'm just hearing it's time to release it. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't need to be examined. You just need to let it go. Like it doesn't have, it only lives on if you own it. And you can just, you know, release it. Okay, let's look now at your house of things that are beyond you, that are foreign to you, that are higher minded. Here we're getting, it's almost like you have a blockage here, and that may be because it's, again, this is like kind of the energy of Scorpio, but in the other direction. It wants to go like far out, and I feel like you get so distracted by everything that starts proliferating that you can't really go the distance with this, that becomes, you know, a blockage. You know, like you're blocked from going really far. But what is great is that it kind of stirs up everything again, like we see here. You know, even though you can't push the energy, you know, to a single point perspective, it still just kicks up so much that there's like a flowering of consciousness that happens. So it's kind of fun. Like you only kind of have to prick the surface of something, and you get all of this mesmerizing detail that comes out. I'm going to look at your house of your legacy and what you can really do at what you're really building and accomplishing at your greatest level here. And again, we're seeing so much Gemini energy, busy, busy, busy. So it looks like you, this is so funny. I love it when I see you guys just show up here in your readings. So this is so enchanting, but in a really kooky, contemporary way. It's got a spirit of the season to it, so you may be really enjoying the holiday if you celebrate that at the end of this month. If you do Halloween, that may be a special time for you. You may really enjoy, if you have a partner during that time, that may be a period that you guys really indulge in. It feels like there's something about this time that's really getting your blood pumping, like you feel like you're circulating, you feel like you're alive, and you're enjoying it, like you're enjoying having the opportunity to be comfortable in who you are and not having to be anything else. Like there's this real you're just not like fettered, and it's like you're just open to revealing the true you. And I think that it's also helping to give you permission to not only show up as you are right now in the moment, but realize that you can keep changing. And part of the fun of the energy that you have is that it sort of flutters in and out of different things ever so lightly. You know, you don't have to stay stagnant, and you're beginning to understand that you don't have to stay in one identity and one thing and just be that even if you come out as something right now and you present that, you're beginning to understand that the true authorship here, the true thing that you want to own is like, well, even if I am going to claim this, like I can claim something else tomorrow. I can change my mind, and I'm going to be comfortable with that. I don't have to be rigid. And I think that you're really opening to that, and it's just making you feel free and elated and just finally like, I can just be me. And that idea of me doesn't have to be, you know, completely defined forever. And you like that excitement that things could keep turning and revealing themselves to you. Now I'm going to look here at your house where you can really be yourself as well as integrate into the whole more. Okay, so what I'm hearing here is that even though in like your waking hours You know your energy, you know what you're capable of. But regardless of the energy that you hold during this this time when you're in, these more conscious, awakened states, that the depth does come through during dream time. Like you're not dismissed from participating in the deeper layers of reality. That those are always existing and always working for you, and that you're really part of that. It's just that you may not be able to consciously connect with that type of depth. I mean, you can to some degree, but this is really working for you. And I think what's so fantastic about it is that it works in a way that is not, it's like not disappointing. It holds all the complexity that you love and all the qualities that you really, really would enjoy having. It's like there. It's like your background, but you're not aware of it, but you're supported by it. And it makes, it's like this perfected reality that you're not even realizing that you are connected to. And that you have, fallen into, like when you disconnect from it, you lessen in a way. You have a lower sense of self-respect than what you truly are able to hold, because you just don't get who you really are. You don't get like the deeper mystery of where you come from and who you really are. And it's like, don't let this outer reality tell you who you are. Realize that you are very sacred, that you come from something that is very special. And your last house of self-transcendence. So we're getting the wisdom, the sight, the wisdom. Yeah, wisdom and knowledge. So one's more like theoretical, and one's more of an experience. Yeah, so like kind of I'm hearing both. Like you're getting both because of your communication. Like you're willing to. I don't feel like there's a lot of research going on in reading, but that's not unusual for you. So between the reading and then the activity in your outer world, you've gained a lot of insight. And I'm also hearing you're wiser than you think. You're wiser than you allow yourself to be. It's just hard to hold that because of the frenetic energy that you can hold. It when you're not able to be calm, sometimes you can't necessarily connect with your own inner knowing as easily. Yet it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. So this is really an energy that's coming out of this last card too. It's kind of an extension of that energy. Like you are almost receiving knowledge in the dream state, and you're not owning it because you didn't cultivate it consciously, but what we're getting here is that it still exists. It's still accessible for you. Okay, that was fun, Gemini. Thank you for allowing me to do this reading for you. I have 6 other playlists if you want to check out any of my other themed readings that I do, and it was great to have you along. I hope you have an amazing Scorpio season. Take really good care.